right, please kindly confirm you can see my screen. Please, I need feedback. Can you see my screen? I need feedback. Anyone? All right, so Messi said I'm supposed to write down something. Yes, you should, right? You should, right? Because there are some nuggets and some incredible insights you'll get from today's session. So yes, you should give your pen to jot the thing or two. Okay, but please, in the meantime, can we confirm that we can see my screen? Right now, guys, please can we see my screen? Is it better now? Is my audio better? My more audible now? Can we hear me clearly? Hello, guys. Can we hear me?
Yes, we can.
All right. Thank you very much, Mohammed, for that feedback. Okay. So for today's session, we're looking at AI freelance and remote project management roles. Once again, my name is Adio Agotemi. Okay. So most people think that AI will replace them. Okay. And I think it's quite an appalling thing to say. Okay. Because in reality, AI does not necessarily replace us. Because at the end of the day, AI does not work in isolation, right? It needs us to work. It needs our cognitive function for it to operate because it doesn't work in isolation. And I like to see it as augmented intelligence instead of what artificial intelligence. Okay, so AI would only replace those that don't know how to use AI. All right. AI will only take the jobs of those people that do not know how to use AI. So those that know how to use AI would replace those that do not know how to use AI. All right. So I'll just go to the next slide. Okay. And I'll just simply speak about analytics business, right? Analytics business is one of the leading e-learning platforms that is designed to help organizations across the world empower their teams with a wide array of professional development options. Okay, with access to top quality courses across diverse disciplines, analytics business addresses the continuous learning and development needs essential in today's fast-paced business environment. Okay, so we are one of the leading edutech companies, right? We are designed to help organizations across the world to empower their teams, right, in professional development. Okay, so that's just a sort of overview of what we do here at analytics business. Okay, we are here to give you guys top quality courses across diverse disciplines so that you can maintain your trajectory as a professional and meet up with the demands of the industry and the technological landscape. So that's what we are here to help you with. Okay, and next I'll just briefly talk about myself. Okay, my name is Adio Agotemi, and I am a project manager. I like to call myself the tri-grade in the sense that I'm a project manager, a business analyst, and a product manager. Okay, and so that's just tri-grade. Tri-grade means three grades. Okay, all right, and my work focuses on translating complex business problems into clear executable strategies. Okay, that deliver measurable outcomes. Okay, my background with analysis informs how I lead projects grounded in structured thinking, precise requirements, and stakeholder alignment. I approach delivery not as a task coordination, but as disciplined problem solving across people, process, and technology. And in recent years, I've also embedded AI into project management just to help me with faster work, better accuracy, and also deliver with execution and precision. Okay, so that's just it from me. All right, so I don't know if one or two persons here can just briefly talk about themselves and just what they do. Just a person or two. Okay, so I will just open the floor to you guys. Just a person or two. Tell me your name and tell me what you do. So the mic is yours, guys. Just a person or two. Just tell me your name and what you do. So we don't take too much time. Spent about 9 minutes already. Anyone? Damian Mayowa. Yes, you're the one that comes to mind first. Do you mind? Do you mind just telling me a bit about yourself? Damian Mayowa, can you hear me? Any other person, please, if you don't mind, just tell me your name and tell me what you do. Just as simple as that, your name and what you do. So we don't take too much time. Okay, okay, Benita, yes, Benita, please go ahead. Benita, yes, please go ahead very quickly. Yeah, Benita, I saw your hand raised. Please very quickly, just go ahead. Tell me about your name and what you do. Okay, all right. So my name is Damian. Okay, civil servant, admin officer. Okay. My name is Messi Chidera. I'm a nurse, but currently a stay-at-home mom. Okay. All right, that's very, very interesting. Nice to meet you, Messi. Nice to meet you. Um, Benita as well, and nice to meet you, Damian. All right. So we'll just deep dive into today's session, today's masterclass. Like I said earlier, it's important to have your pen so that you can jot a thing or two. All right. So before we start talking about tools, portfolios, and freelancing, okay, I just want to state one thing. I want to make it clear and as explicit as possible. Okay. So today's masterclass is not about you becoming louder, flashier, or more technical. Okay. It's about you becoming clearer and explicit, okay, in your judgment as a project manager. All right. I'm not here to come and teach you and talk about how you should use AI and whatnot. Okay. I'm just here to show you how thinking has changed when AI is introduced in execution. Okay. How thinking changes when AI is introduced into execution. All right. Because in the real world, especially in freelance and remote roles, nobody is paid for effort anymore. Okay. Nobody is paying you for the effort. Okay. Yes, you put in a bit of effort here and there, you tried your best, but nobody is paying you for that. Right. What clients are paying you for is how you can reduce confusion, how you can make decisions clearer, how you can deliver outcomes faster with more precision and accuracy. Okay, faster than what traditional PM project management would take. So this is what clients are paying you for today, right? And so AI doesn't do that automatically, right? It only amplifies what you already think. Like I always tell my students that it is augmented intelligence. It is your own intelligence that AI uses. So if you are not intelligent, AI will call you out. Okay? Because your quality of work and the quality of funds you give to AI would also determine the quality of results you get back from it. Okay, so when that client offers you a particular job to carry out, it is the quality of your thinking that AI helps you to amplify. So if your quality of thinking and your quality of work is not optimal, is substandard, you would also deliver a substandard result, right? So today we'll focus on a very, very simple question, which is if a client hired you tomorrow, okay, what would they feel you solved? Okay, what would they feel you solved? Not what you say you did. Okay, what would they feel that you solved? Right, that's the simple question I want to throw out there for us today. All right. But so whilst we're still deliberating on that, while we're still thinking of that, let's just move to the very first slide for today's session. All right. Which is just a moment, please. Okay, great. All right. So after this session, you will be able to understand why AI has changed the freelance PM game, and also how to position yourself as a subject matter expert, right, with your AI-driven project portfolio. Right, these are the two important lessons that we should take out of today's session, right? How AI changes PM freelance game, and how to position yourself as a subject matter expert with your AI-driven project portfolio. All right. So our first slide, why AI changes the PM freelance game. In today's market, being a good project manager is no longer special. Okay? It is no longer special because everybody can become a project manager. It's just taking of you and leave one project to another, in whatever context or capacity it is. Okay? And it is assumed that everybody should be able to handle the project however you can. Okay? So what is special, right, and paid for is speed, clarity, and leverage. Okay? What is special and paid for are three things: speed, clarity, and leverage. Okay? AI changes the PM game because, number one, it reduces manual coordination. Okay? AI reduces manual coordination. As I push my clients or pushing my stakeholders up and down to get project activities executed anymore. Okay? I don't need to start chasing resources all around so that I can get execution and meet my triple constraints. So in project management, we call the triple constraints your scope, your timeline, and your budget. Okay? The triple constraints is what? Your scope, your timeline, and the budget. So whatever project management activity you are delivering, right, is always usually around those triple constraints. Okay? So as a project manager, now I don't need to go through manual coordinations anymore because with AI, I can ensure that project activities are delivered within those triple constraints. Okay? AI is no longer a nice to have, right? It is a differentiator that directly impacts employability and income. Okay? So it's no longer one of those priorities that it is nice to have. It is now a differentiator that directly impacts employability and income. Okay? Everybody expects you to have professional project management skills. Everybody expects you to be able to create a project charter, right? A business case, the PIDs, your risk management plan, your communication plan, your work breakdown structure, and whatnot. Everybody expects you to be able to do that with traditional PM, right? But when you use AI, it saves you time because your PIDs might take you weeks, about 3-4 weeks to complete. But with AI, within hours, within minutes, you can complete that. Okay, companies now hire freelance and remote PMs to move faster, cheaper, and smarter. Okay, and I do projects that probably you want to work on a simple customer feedback project that will probably take you about 3 months to complete. Okay, because of the amount of resources you need to chase around, because of the number of dependencies, the risk, and other factors that will attribute to you taking a long time, right? With AI, that can be done within weeks, within days. So now companies now want to hire freelancers that will work faster, cheaper, and smarter. Okay, it allows one PM to deliver the output of an entire coordination team. Right, because when it comes to projects, you have multiple resources and stakeholders, right? And every stakeholder has his or her own goals and agenda, right? And however you can navigate and try to pacify each stakeholder will determine how fast your project moves or how slow it is being delivered, okay? But with the advent of AI, we can carry out everybody's activity in one singular platform. And as a result of that, delivery is in time. Okay, freelancers with AI portfolio now signal execution power and not theory anymore. Okay, they are not necessarily just fixated on documentations. Okay, with your AI portfolio, you signal execution power, the fact that you can do it as a trajectory, as a track record, right? That you've done this work before because you have a portfolio that speaks for what you've done in the past, right? So now freelancers with AI portfolios now signal execution power, not necessarily theory. Okay, I know this is quite interesting because one of the manifesto in Agile is what a working software over documentations, right? This just speaks to the fact that as an AI, a product manager that has AI expertise, right? Your AI portfolio speaks rather than just telling people in theory that this is what you can do, right? There is a track record that you've done it in the past. Okay, guys, are we together? Is this making sense, guys? Am I making sense? Are we together? Are we learning a thing or two? All right, all right. Okay. So the freelance and remote PM reality. Okay. The freelance and remote PM reality. Okay. Now I want to understand why companies hire freelance and remote PMs. Okay. Because understanding why companies hire freelance and remote PMs clarifies what your portfolio must prove. Okay, you can see the guy on my screen. He made his first $1,000 as a freelance PM. Okay, freelance and remote PMs are not hired to learn on the job. Like I said, your client thinks you have the perspicacity, you have the gamut, you understand the ins and outs of project management already. Okay, so you are not hired to learn on the job. You are hired to solve a specific execution problem. Okay, so now companies now hire freelance PMs to fix execution gaps, to deliver short-term outcomes, to reduce operational overhead. Okay, these are why they hire freelance PMs because you are considered to be a subject matter expert in the field. So when they want to fix some gaps, you are called into play. Okay, when you want to deliver short-term outcomes, you are called. When they want to reduce operational overhead, right, the cost of maintaining multiple PMs in the organization, right, they can call in a freelance that will carry out all of those activities in the interim for them and even long-term sometimes. Okay, so as a remote project manager, you are strictly judged on results and clarity, not effort. How were you able to help an organization save costs? Right? How are you able to help a client save costs? Right? Reduce discrepancies. Okay. How are you able to increase revenue for the client? Right? How are you able to solve an issue? How are you able to mitigate a gap? Right? This is why remote PMs are hired. Okay. So hiring manager silently asks, can this PM run projects with minimal supervision? Can this PM make decisions using data? Can this PM automate coordination and reporting? If the answer is no, then you won't get the job. Okay, but if the answer is a big yes, it is yours. And what is left for you is to deliver excellently and execute effectively. Right? This is what the hiring managers think of when they look at freelance for PMs. Right? So companies and clients bring in freelance PMs when things are messy, visibility is poor, deadlines are sleeping, internal teams are overwhelmed. Right? They bring in what freelance PMs. And as a remote PM, you might not be extended much grace. Okay. And you might be judged harshly because no one sees you working. There is little tolerance for confusion, right? Your communication must be tight, it must be austere. So these are some of the realities of a remote or a freelance project manager. Okay? A project manager, even the ones with experience that work on site or work physically, right? You might be extended some level of grace. Okay, maybe something happened and a resource was not available, which affected the timeline of the project. And you know that once the timeline is affected, it's definitely going to affect the scope, right? And sometimes even extend to the budget, right? Because some of these things are interwoven, they are intertwined, right? your organization might be gracious to you because I mean you work for them, they employ your services and whatnot. But for a client that employs you for your services, that considers you to be a subject matter expert, it might be little grace for you, right? Which is why you need to cement your skills, which is why you need to understand and know your onions as a freelance project manager. All right, guys, are we together? Is this making sense? Is this making sense? All right, so let's move to the next slide. All right. So portfolio evidence is very, very important, right? Your portfolio evidence is very, very important. Okay, I cannot overemphasize the importance of your portfolio, right? I cannot overemphasize the importance of your portfolio and what it should entail. Okay, so an AI portfolio is not just that I know ChatGPT, okay, or I've used Click on Brain in the past. I've used Asana AI, I've used Strike, I've used Notion, I've used Jira Copilot, I've used all of those things. That's not enough. Okay, clients don't pay you for your tool familiarity. They pay for decision making and outcomes. Okay, now a view AI PM portfolio will probably answer the questions: what problem existed? Okay, like I said earlier, maybe there is a problem in an organization or a client has a business, and for some reason the customer are consistently trying to make complaints and make inquiries and they can't. Okay, and as a project manager, you took the clients from that state, which is the current state, which is also called the Aziz, and you take the client to a desired future state whereby customers can make inquiries, they can contact the customer service personnel. There's even a chatbot that gives them an instant response, like an AI chatbot that gives them an instant response, right? It can be that that was just a little thing you did that turns the business around. Okay, those are things that your clients are looking for when it comes to your AI portfolio. What business problem existed? What decision did you make? How did AI help you think faster and better? Because remember we said earlier that at the end of the day, it is your intelligence that AI works with, right? It doesn't work in isolation, right? It works with what you give to it. And as a result of that, what changed? What results were you able to achieve as a result of using AI, right? What were you able to achieve? So these are some of the things that should be included in your project management portfolio, right? I'm going to show us one of the sample projects that I worked on as we elaborate in this session. Okay, so for example, when you say that you know how to use Excel, it doesn't make you valuable, right? You know, everybody knows how to use Excel, right? Even the secondary school students, they know how to use Excel. But when you use Excel to uncover insight, right, that helps to save money, right? Use Excel to uncover patterns to help businesses make informed decisions that are data driven, right? This is when you are now of value, not with the fact that you're just familiar with the tool or the resources, right? So these are some of the evidence that your portfolio should entail, should cover. Okay, the project context. Okay, at the end of the day, if you do not give ChatGPT or you do not give any of your PMAI assistants a project context, it won't be able to give you the desired results that you want, right? Context is really, really important. When you learn about AI, there's something we call persona pattern, right? You need to play or put on a persona, right? Give it a context. See, it's just the way you converse with your friends, your colleagues, and your loved ones, right? You don't just use emojis, for example, without giving a context, right? Or else it becomes vague and ambiguous. And when it's become vague and ambiguous, you lose the scope and the direction of the particular information. So same thing applies with AI. You need a project context, okay? You need a before versus after comparison. I said earlier, maybe the business did not have a centralized complaint repository for customers. And as a result of that, you're able to achieve it for them. That's a before versus after situation. Okay. And what was AI role in your decision making? Okay, maybe you recommended some action plans for you to take and you took it. Okay, and what was the impact on the business? As a result of that, they were able to achieve customer satisfaction, maybe by 70%, by 60%, by 50%. That could be the business impact, right? So these are some of the things that should be in your portfolio, But it's not just that I know how to use ClickUp Brain. Like I took my students yesterday on LinkedIn and posting one of the activities on LinkedIn. One of the activities is on ClickUp Brain. So we're given a task to create some project plans, to create some work breakdown structure, and also to identify some dependencies between those tasks, and also a risk management plan. And they were able to execute that using the prompt that we used in class. And as a result of that, they have their post on LinkedIn now, right? And their impressions are going up. So this serves as what? As experiential knowledge for them, right? This serves as a testament to the fact that they have done the job in the past. Okay? And this is what you want to have in your portfolio as evidence. All right, guys, are we together? Is this making sense? Are we together? Are we good? Okay, I'm just silently checking the chat box to see if okay. So Messi said I'm a novice in this and I don't understand most of it. Okay, Messi, that's absolutely fine. Okay, you're a newbie, so there are some terminologies here that might not necessarily be very attuned to you, but it is no problem. Okay, we try to demystify those concepts as we progress. All right. So what an AI PM portfolio really means. Okay. What an AI PM portfolio really means. Okay. An AI PM portfolio is evidence of applied intelligence, not true familiarity. Okay. An AI portfolio is evidence of applied intelligence, not true familiarity. Okay. An AI portfolio shows the problems you identified, all right, decisions you made using AI, like I said earlier, processes you automated. For example, if an organization operates a manual process and you automate the manual process, I always like to make reference to our hospitals here in Nigeria, general hospitals that we attend, right? For example, when it comes to our health record, most of the times it's usually written on the paper. Okay, you go to the hospital, there's a file, they write your name, your hospital card number, your history, and whatnot. That's a manual process. Okay, and an automated process can be that you incorporate an electronic health record system. Right. So once you go through that condition of going from a manual state of doing things to an automated way of doing things, it means that you've automated that particular process. Okay, and as a result of that, you can drive up their revenue, can help them save costs, can help them with their payments gateway, you help them with so many solutions. All right, these are some of the things that you can have in your AI portfolio. You should have in your AI portfolio rather. Right, it's not just a list of tools, not just screenshots without context or the generic prompts that you wrote. That's not what should be in your AI portfolio, right? It should be the problems you solved, the problems you identified, okay? Decisions you made using AI, processes you automated, the outcomes you improved. These are salient items. These are salient things that should be in your AI portfolio, guys. Okay? These are things that should be in your AI portfolio. All right? So at this junction, let me see if I can just take a question. Does anyone have a question to ask? Let me just take one question very quickly before we progress again. Okay, let me just take one question before we progress again. So is there any question? All right. So in the meantime, please, let's ensure that we fill in the attendance sheet. It's really, really important because if you don't fill the attendance sheet, you won't be able to get the recording to this session. Here, you will get recording to this session. So please, let's make sure that we fill the attendance sheet. Very, very much important. Okay, I can now overemphasize the importance of you filling the attendance sheet. All right, let's just move forward a bit. Okay, so where and how to showcase your AI PM portfolio? Okay, where and how to showcase your AI PM portfolio? Okay, visibility converts skills into income. And this is something I harp about a lot to my students. There is no point in you having a skill set that only you know that you have. There is no point, okay, that you have a skill set that you are the only one that you are aware that you have that skill set and others do not know. Okay, you're just like a diamond in the rough, right? You're not especially important at that particular stage because you are the only one that knows that you have the skill set. So visibility, right, really puts you on the map. Okay, you become obvious to everyone that you have a particular skill set that resonates to what they want. So visibility converts your skills into income. It converts those skills of yours into income. This is how your clients find you. All right, this is how your clients find you. If I wasn't visible, I would not be working for this organization at the moment. It was my visibility, right, that made me get the job here. Right? It was a visibility that made you get a job in wherever it is you work. Right? If you were not visible and only you knew you had that skill set, you would not have gone for an interview, or you not even have been invited to that interview before you landed your role. Okay, so visibility is what converts those skills of yours, the expertise of yours, into income. Okay, and what are some of those platforms that best displays your visibility? We have Notion. Okay, Notion is a very clean and client-friendly tool that we use to be visible. Okay, we have Notion. We have personal websites. Some freelancers have their own personal websites that they use as well for visibility, where they can share their portfolios, where they can talk about themselves, what they do, their trajectory in their career, and whatnot. Okay, we also have TikTok. Okay, we have the LinkedIn featured section. So LinkedIn is really, really a game changer when it comes to visibility, particularly for someone who's a professional. Okay, so LinkedIn is not just a job board for AI freelancer, it is also a trust filter. Okay, it is also a trust filter. Before anyone hires you, they ask, is this person serious? Okay, if I go through your LinkedIn profile at the moment, can I tell that you're a project manager? Can I tell that you've been consistent? Can I tell that you're a force to be reckoned with? Can I tell that your contents are coherent? Can I tell that you are very, very explicit in your delivery? Can I tell all of those things? Okay, because this is what we call the trust filter. Okay, if all of those things are not available, then I don't trust you with my services. Okay, I won't trust you with them. All right. Are they operating at a professional level? These are some of the things that you want to have. So LinkedIn answers the question before a call ever happens. Okay, I've had recruiters reach out to me on LinkedIn that okay, they've been following my post on LinkedIn, they've been seeing the consistency, and they want my services in one capacity or another. Okay, because what I've been doing over the years has been consistent. Right, this is also something you want to have as a project manager that wants to freelance in AI project management. Okay, these are some of the things you want to have. So, how AI freelancers should use LinkedIn? Okay, how should you use LinkedIn? The reason I'm talking about LinkedIn is because LinkedIn is one of those very, very important places for visibility. Okay, you want to turn project work into clear insights. Okay, you want to turn project work into clear insights. You want to write concise case summaries. Okay, you want to write concise case summaries. For example, you are working on a project that probably has to do with helping a stakeholder, a client automate their status reports. Because one of those salient reports that we write in project management is what we call a status report. Okay, we have two types of reports in project management. You have the time-driven reports and the event-driven reports. Okay, and your status report is a time-driven report because something that you write on a weekly basis. Okay, and one of those things that you probably want to include in your status report is every single thing that is currently ongoing in your project. So if I put up a post on LinkedIn, right, concerning a status report, it should contain even to the tiniest granularity of what's happening in my project, and everything there is clearly articulated and stated. That's how you write concise case summaries. Okay, so if somebody sees my post on LinkedIn concerning status reports, they have the assurance that I know what I'm doing right? And I can also help them automate such in their own project or in their own services. All right, this is how we showcase expertise. All right, so as an AI freelancer, when you write on LinkedIn, you should also communicate outcomes, not just activities. Okay, what were you able to achieve? What were you able to do? Okay, here is how I reduced reporting time by 70%. Here is how I saved cost by 40%. These are some of the things you want to write because those headlines are really, really catchy. Okay, those of us that are into write-ups, we know that without a catchy headline, you cannot hook the reader. So you need your headline to be catchy, not just because of the sake of catchiness, but because you've also done the work, right? And as a result of that, you are clear and sure that what you are offering to the person is totally of value to them. All right. So these are some of the things you can do. So what you don't want to do is that you don't want to start listing the number of tools, big motivational posts, or even your certifications. I'm not saying that they're not necessary, but for you to get that client of yours, for you to get their visibility, their interest, their trust, a couple of those things like I said earlier are absolutely important. All right. And also, there are still some other tools that we can also explore. Like I said, Notion, okay, or even Upwork. Upwork is where freelancers get paid. Okay, Upwork is where freelancers get paid. Upwork is not for your learning; it is for execution under pressure. Okay, it is not for your learning; it is for your execution under pressure. Clients are not necessarily impressed by your big words, your long proposals, and whatnot. Okay, they care about your speed, your clarity, and specific outcomes. Right? There are people that make their living, right, by just selling projects and what solving problems for clients on Upwork, right? And they make their dollars, they make their pounds, whatever currency it is that they want, they make it there. Okay, so how does AI help you in this regard? It makes your responses faster. It tailors your proposal precisely. Okay, it tailors your proposal precisely. It references relevant portfolio examples that you would need. Okay, it reduces manual proposal writings for you. So there are a myriad of capabilities that AI helps you with. Right, and this is why it's important that you become a subject matter expert. Okay, Ugochi, sorry, I think you are writing on the screen. Please, can you not do that? I can see some marks on the screen. Okay, please kindly not do that. Thank you very much. Okay, so high value use cases that clients pay project managers for. Okay, high value use cases that clients pay project managers for. Freelance project managers' income grows with the value of problems you solve using AI. Okay, your value is proportional to what kind of offering you can give to your clients, or you are paid proportionally to the value you can offer to your clients. Okay, so for example, you have an AI generated project plan. As a project manager, right, you already understand what should be in a project plan. What are the components of a project plan? You understand that you need to create timelines. You need to understand dependencies. Okay, what are the relationship between the various tasks you have in your project? And these are some of the use cases that our clients pay us for. Automated status report, like I said earlier, it is very, very important. Executive summaries, okay? Risk prediction and mitigation suggestions. As someone that's done risk management for so long, you understand that it takes time, right? Because risk comes from so many angles. And your traditional project management, risk management plan can probably take you as long as 6 months, 8 months, because you have something you call your rate log, your risk assumptions, issues, and dependencies, right? And this is something that you have throughout your project life cycle. But with AI, you can easily predict every risk that will happen and also mitigation suggestions. And these are things that your clients would like to see. Okay, resource forecasting and capacity planning, your stakeholder communication automation. How do stakeholders want to be communicated with? The frequency, right? The mode, the channel of communication. These are some of the use cases that clients pay PMs for. Okay, decision support using historical project data. Okay, these are some of the things that our clients they pay us for. So the key takeaway here is that you build portfolios around business pains, not PM theories. Okay, not PM theories. All right, not PM theories. So if you look at my screen now, you can see that this is an image for a project kickoff and requirement alignment. Okay, and everything on my screen here is AI generated. This is just a snapshot of what's on my screen. Everything here is AI generated. Every single thing. If you look at the priority there, you can see that it has an AI logo. This is ClickUp Brain. So this particular project was for me to just create a redesign for a client. Okay. And with a series of prompts that I ran in ClickUp Brain, I was able to generate about 7 tags, right, that are useful to the client. Okay, for the projects that I had on ground. And from those tags, ClickUp Brain AI was able to create some sub-tags for me. So this schedule, the prepare and invite, conduct stuff, all of these were created by the AI. Okay. And also you can see the caution sign. That has also a dependency sign. So we have the blocking dependency. Okay. It means that schedule, the project plan, whatever is there, is blocking what prepare. And so we have the dependency, we have the relationships there. We also have the priority of each of those subtasks, right? The due date, their status, all of these things here were created by AI. So these are things that you want to have on your portfolio. Okay, you see that I didn't just put click up on my screen here. I kept the activities that I carried out. So as a result of all of these activities that I have here, okay, once I go on ClickUp Brain and I tell it to generate a status report for me, automatically it does that. Okay, automatically it does that. And if I want to take it a step further, that I don't even want to have to come to the application at all, I can go on N810 and do an end-to-end automation. Maybe my clients will just be receiving a mail, maybe by Wednesday every week, for the status update of the project. Right? These are the capacity that AI offers us. Okay, these are the capacities and these are the intelligence that we can achieve as project managers that use AI. So you can see on my screen, you mean AI can do all of this? The question is absolute yes. Right? AI can do all of this. Okay, so now there is a game changer in AI at the moment. Okay, there is a game changer. Now, as PMs, we don't need to work our brains too much on activities, on resources, and whatnot, right? There are tools, there are techniques, there are learning patterns we can use with AI that helps us execute faster with better accuracy and efficiency. Okay, so now the mini projects, that's before we wrap it up. Okay, the mini project here is just an AI-powered weekly status management. So you can see here that it says that a remote client complains that they have no clear visibility into the progress and spend too much time in update meetings. They hire a freelance PM to automate weekly reporting using AI. Okay, to automate weekly reporting using AI. So I will just open one of my tabs here and just show us very quickly. Okay, and show us very quickly. So let me just, all right, so these are, just a moment, please. So let this load very quickly. This is ClickUp Brain. Okay, just to show us a particular project that I had a snapshot of. Okay, so it's coming up shortly. Great. So this is a project that I have for a client. So this is just projects we design. All right. And this is ClickUp Brain I have on my screen here. Okay. So I use some of these prompts here, some of these zero shot prompts. Okay. And you can see that in my prompt, there is an explicit outline of how I want to run each and generate each of the answers that I get from my clients. So you can see the first prompt here. You are a freelance project manager supporting a remote client. Create a clear project overview for a small project focused on improving weekly project visibility. Include the project objective, the scope, the success criteria, and the assumptions in simple business language suitable for a non-technical client. Okay, so here we can see that AI can articulate project intent clearly, which a copy and responsibility that client pays for. So with that particular prompt, I was able to get a result here. Okay, then I moved to the next prompt. Okay, so the next prompt. This is where the real work begins. Based on this project, generate a simple task breakdown suitable for a beginner level project. Limit it to 5 to 7 tasks with clear outcome focused task names. Assume a short timeline and a small remote team. Okay, and if you come here, you can see that I have about 7 tasks here. Okay, and they are both in various status. This is for the gather project requirements for the client, confirm the project scope with the client, design concepts. These are the 7 tasks that I have, right, from the points that I generated, and all of this was done by the AI on ClickUp. Okay, now weekly status reports, client facing. Generate operational weekly project status reports using the current tasks that are included. Right, if I come back here on ClickUp, it's just a simple. Let me just ask ClickUp once again, right? I'll just come here and click on ask function. I can just copy this font I have here. All right. Copy this font I have here. Control C. Come back here. Paste it. All right. And it will generate a status report for me. All right, so generate a status report for me. I did one earlier, so to show us how it worked. Okay, so it says that it's generating the project update. So this was one I did earlier today. All right, that was one I did earlier today. I'm just going to show that to us. Very good. So this is one I did earlier today. So this is the summary of the project progress over the last 7 days. So these are things that your client wants to see. What was completed, subtasks and main planning for the project kickoff, requirement alignment. The initial designs were set up. So you can see how explicit it is in the project updates. What is in progress? The clients can just come here and see what is in progress. You can look at the design phase. What are the risks or blockers of the project? Right? The risk is that the agenda preparation is currently on hold, which could delay the overall kickoff timeline if not resolved soon. These are also the dependencies. Okay, and it even went ahead to recommend the next steps. Okay, because I'm the only contributor on this particular project, that's why you can see that only my name is here at the moment. Okay, so these are some of the capabilities that these AI tools offer us, and these are what our clients expect from us. Okay, if I go ahead to open this particular task, for example, I see in the planning phase, you will see that there are a myriad of things that the AI chatbot on ClickUp did for us, okay? Or for me rather. Just a moment. So this due date was done by the AI. The priority of the task was done by the AI, all right? But I just said not to attend to the other ones. But if I open, okay, let me open the one that is. Let me open this one. Yes, let me open this one. Okay, great. Right, you can see that it has an automatical end date, which is due on Wednesday. You see that it is urgent. All of these things here, you can just go ahead to generate subtasks. You click on generate subtasks. AI does every single thing for you. And these are things that you want to have and you want your clients to also see when they come on your project. So you can see that as just a simple click that's generated some of these subtasks that I would need successfully execute the particular project. So these are some of the things that we expect to see on our portfolio. Okay, so how were you able to translate some of those business needs? How were you able to translate them into actionable insights? What were you able to do throughout the project and what not? These are some of the things that you want to have on your portfolio. And if you want to take it a notch further, all right, you want to just take it a notch further, we can come on any 10 year. right? This is just me simply automating a weekly status report using the API I get from ClickUp Brain, right, from this project that I attended to, and what our clients would get an automated weekly status report as their meal. Can you see this? A weekly status report. This is what we expect to have on our portfolio. So every week, anything sends me a mail, right? I don't, as a client, I don't need to go and click up things to start for project updates. When I go on anything, I get my weekly status report, so you can see that this project is yet to commence with any work in progress. All tasks are currently in to-do status, and most remain unassigned, right? You can see that it is telling us every single thing that is happening in the project. And right under here, you can see that this particular email was sent automatically by anything. So these are things that we should have as freelancers, as PMs that want to sell our services to clients. Okay, those of us that want to use AI capacity, okay, to feed ourselves or to just have an additional source of income. These are some of the things you need to have in your portfolio that speaks to your expertise as someone who is credible, who is reliable, and a force to be reckoned with in the AI space. Okay, so that's just it for me, right? So at this junction, I will just be taking a question or two before I hand over to another AI expert of ours who will just round up the session for us a bit. So please, is there any question from anyone of us, just a person or two? Let me just look a question or two. So is there any question from anyone? Please, let's not forget that we need to fill the attendance sheet, unless we won't be able to get recordings of this particular session as well as the materials. So that is very, very important. Please. Okay, Idowu Saka, please go ahead.
Good evening, sir.
Good day. How are you doing?
I appreciate the presentation. So I am new to this particular skills, so I would love to learn more. To me, I would just say this is my first time hearing freelancing and remote, freelancing and remote. What do you call it? Yeah. So I've learned about project management probably during my service year. So, but I didn't know that I can actually become a remote PMs. So I would love to know so that to add to my LinkedIn, like you said, and also to be able to market my what I have. I've learned the theoretical ways of doing PM, but I never knew that at home I can become one. So I would love to. So thank you. That's my takes. And how can I get that skill?
Okay, that's a very, very good question. Okay, the question will probably be what will lead us into the next segment of things. Okay, one of the things that I think you have done well so far is that you are curious, you are intrigued enough to know that at this point you can be in your house and learn about AI project management. Okay, it's like I said earlier that you've learned the traditional side of things, and now it's time for you to transition into AI project management. And this is why the analytics business is here for you. So everything you need to know about AI project management, you would get to know it. Okay, so our next speaker, all right, will speak about some of these things and how you can make that smooth transition. Okay, so is that fine, Saka? Is that
Yes,
fine?
yes.
All right, no problem. So yes, someone says, can we get the prompt? Yes, you'll be able to get the prompt only when you fill your attendance sheet. You get the prompt when you do that. So yes, Oguntoli, you will get those prompts when you do that. And someone asks, is it only ClickUp when you use as an AI tool for tasks? No, there is a myriad of them. We have Asana AI, okay? We have Jira Copilot, we have Notion, we have Monday AI, we have Trello, we have Asana AI. So there are a myriad of tools you can explore in project management that you can use to auto generate those tasks. But what's important is that you need to first have those project management skill sets because you don't want to just go and click up and just write random prompts and you generate random responses. All right. You also want to have a foundational knowledge as to what AI test management entails. And that's why we are here as an organization, as a business, to help you bridge that gap. So there are a myriad of tools you can use to carry that out. Okay, so at this junction now, I will be handing over to our AI expert, our colleague, also our CEO here at Analytics Business, who has the track record, the trajectory, the expertise. Right, he's a seasoned veteran when it comes to artificial intelligence. Person in Mohammed Suleiman who will take over from here, and we'll also speak on how we can also make that seamless transition into artificial intelligence and other right? Other services that we offer at analytics business, which goes beyond the confines of AI project management. And now it can be a value of us, a value to us further in our professional journey. So thank you very much, and over to you, Mohammed.
Thank you very much, Botemi. That was an insightful session you had there. First off, can we hear me loud and clear? Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm we
Yes,
can all hear me loud and clear.
yes, sir.
Give me a thumbs up. Okay, fantastic. So, what did you learn in the session so far? Okay, because you're about to learn even more now. Okay, but what have you learned in the session so far? One word, just one word or one sentence, maximum. Type it in the chat. Let me see. What have you learned in the session so far? Because I've learned quite a lot. Okay, but I want to know what you personally learned in the session so far. What have you learned in the session so far, guys? Type it in the chat. Let me know. And then I'll go on to share my screen and we can continue. What have you learned in the session so far? One sentence. What have you learned in the session so far? Let me see who's going to be the first to respond. Who's going to be the first to respond? Okay, fantastic. That is Nduke Abasi. I hope I pronounced your name correctly. I heard I'm very good at pronouncing names. How to use Clicker Brain to execute tasks. Fantastic. AI make projects faster and saves time. You're very correct. You're very correct, Damian. Maiwa. Fantastic one. Okay, so keep your responses coming in. How to reduce business pain rather than projects PMS theories. Okay. Fantastic one. All right. So keep your responses coming in while I share my screen and we go on with today's session. And we're going right into beneficial stuff so you can get to learn even more than you have already. So someone said I can do more as a project manager. AI augmented. Um, AI augments what I have to offer. I agree with you. Absolutely. I agree with you absolutely. All right. Okay. So, ensure to fill out the form so you get my slides. You get this is the same slide Botimi was using. I just took over from here. Okay. So if you want the slide, ensure to fill out the attendance form as well as the recording of this session. So guys, we are in 2026. Okay. And what the job market looks like is this. You can put all the efforts in the world, but what the job market is rewarding right now is leverage. And AI is what gives you that leverage. I was speaking with somebody today and I told him, the person told me he is a digital marketer. And I told him, let's assume you're a digital marketer, you're in an interview for a digital marketing role. And the interviewer asks you this question. Okay, I'm interviewing a bunch of people like yourself. Why should I hire you? The easiest way today to differentiate yourself is to say, beyond my digital marketing skill, I bring a host of AI skills on board. Okay? I I can do AI automation. I can leverage ClickUp AI in managing tasks. I can do this, I can do that. And even if this is outside my job description, okay, I have seen that it can move the entire team forward in terms of being AI literate. Now, tell me, if you were on the other side of the table hiring, won't you consider this person if this is the only person that says this of all the digital marketers that you are looking to hire? Of course, you'd hire the person. So AI is a leverage. Okay, it is a leverage, and the careers in AI are skyrocketing. Don't worry, let me not talk too much. You see all the data as we go on. Now, how many of you know Mark Zuckerberg? How many of you know Mark Zuckerberg? How many of you know Mark Zuckerberg? Let's interact. Type in the chat, let's interact. Do you know Mark Zuckerberg? A lot of you use his app every day. Okay, Satochiko knows Mark Zuckerberg. I know him, fantastic. So who is he? The owner of Facebook, right? Popularly called Meta now. So Mark Zuckerberg has declared, okay, and this was late last year, okay, towards the ending of the year, 2025, in November. He said that this year, all his employees are going to be graded based on their AI-driven impact in the business. So he's not going to look at how early you're coming to work. He's not going to look at all those other metrics. He's going to look at how are you driving whatever it is you are doing with AI. So what this is going to cause is that, give me a second. Now, what this is going to cause is that it shifts everybody's attention to AI. And these are the leaders in the industry. So whatever they are doing cascades into other startups, other companies that are looking up to be like them. There is no company on the face of the earth that does not want to wind up like Meta. Everyone wants to be Meta. Everyone wants to be like Nvidia. Everybody wants to be like Microsoft. Okay, so whatever they are doing cascades into them. Okay, and he said this was November 14th. Okay, November 14th, just over a month ago. Now, the Times of India, a very popular news outlet as well, has talked about what McKinsey, if you don't know McKinsey is one of the largest management consulting firms across the globe. Okay, and they have said that, look, AI is not replacing humans. It is meant to reshape how we get stuff done. So where the replacement would come is if you are stuck on how you are getting things done now and you don't infuse AI one way or the other. Okay, so McKinsey is saying that a lot of people believe AI will replace the workforce, but no, it's just going to redefine it. The role will still remain, but it will become a very huge requirement to be AI literate. You remember when we used to use typewriters, okay? I remember when I was in JS2, to we're forced to do typewriting back then. Okay, but today we are using laptops. And when laptops came very newly, a lot of the experts who had, over decades of experience using the typewriter didn't want to let go of the typewriter. What happened to those ones that did not upskill and learn how to use the laptop? The laptop phased out typewriter. It just happened slowly, and you have a new set of experts. Okay. And if you want to remain there, even if you're an expert now, you have to learn how to use that new technology. Okay. And this was rolled out, when was that? November 25th, also just over a month ago. Okay. Now, this is Fortune 500. And they mentioned that, look, if you're a young professional and you're looking for a promotion, just upskill in AI. If you want to grow your career very fast, upskill in AI, it will not go wrong. And this is very true. If you are the first person to show up at your office and automate one of the repetitive tasks that used to be done by someone, guess what? Your value instantly increases. HR wants you to teach other people. Okay. In fact, in some cases, in a very serious-minded environment, you get a new department for you just for yourself, and here you are, a head of department. So if you are looking for a promotion, what you want to do now is to upskill in AI. This was rolled out November 26th, barely just over a month. And I can go on and on with, some of the recent trends in AI. AI won't kill jobs, but will reshape 32 million jobs over the course of a year. Okay, nearly 4 in 10 companies will replace workers with AI by 2026. That's what this particular survey shows. And these were the projections that were made towards the end of 2025. So if you are seeing this right now and there is nothing you are doing with regards to this, then you may be doing something wrong. Okay. So right now, the question is no longer can you do the job. It is how fast can you do it with AI? What AI tools are you using? That's what people are interested in knowing now. Okay. That's what your employers will be interested in knowing. Now, these are some of the key steps you need to take right now. Number one is you want to start attending relevant workshops. And guess what? I want to personally congratulate each and every one of you here. Okay, please use the reaction by just being here and also filling out the attendance form. So if you've not filled out the attendance form, this is another reminder for you to fill out the attendance form so that you can complete step one. Okay, complete step one by filling out the attendance form. So you being here, you have completed the first step. Now, the second step is for you to start to build your own portfolio of projects. Okay, you have to start building your own portfolio of projects. I know you're wondering how, don't worry. Okay, we'll get into it. Number three is you have to build work history. Nobody wants to hire a novice. And I'm sure you're wondering, Mohammed, I'm interested in this. I just want to get started, but you're saying they need experienced people. How am I going to rack up experience? Well, that's why we exist here at Analytics Business. Okay. But that's the next step. Now, finally, you continue to learn, and continuous learning does not mean you won't be looking for jobs, or when you get a job, learning stops. Learning occurs even on the job. I remember today when I look at my very first data analyst job, okay, so many years back now, I just laugh and I can see the growth, the level of growth that has occurred over the years. Now, it always seemed like, can I really do this? That doubt is still there, even if it's so convincing. The doubt still lingers that, can I really do this? I don't think tech is for me. I don't think tech is for me. But let me tell you this. One of the things that has made AI this popular today is that in the past, you needed to know how to code before you can create any AI solution. But today, you don't need any coding background. You're a total novice. You can build AI solutions from scratch without writing code. Over the last couple of days, I've been on a spree of creating websites and apps. Okay, using AI. Very, very interesting stuff. And I would want each and every one of you to also, visit my LinkedIn page. So connect with me. Let's learn, let's continue learning together. All right. So I'm gonna drop my profile link in the chat. So do well to drop a connection, a follow, and let's continue learning together. Okay. That's just by the way though. But I want to show you um that it always look like it's impossible until you actually do it with your own hands yourself. All right, so let me show you some people who have done it before. You have Abigail, Tony, Benga, Nathaniel, Abdurrashid. These guys literally started from the stage you are currently in now and moved to becoming a tech professional after taking one of our programs. As for Tony and Nathaniel, I was the one who prepared them ahead of their interview. And, this is me chipping in some of the services that we offer. So once you are within the Tenalytics business fold, you get a lifetime access to interview preparation. If any of these people come back and say, oh, I have an interview coming up, please can you prepare me? We'll prepare them at no extra cost. So that's something you benefit from Tenalytics business. So I had the opportunity to prepare Tony and Nathaniel. Okay, I was assigned to them to prepare them ahead of their interview, and they went on to get the jobs. Okay. And looking at last year, 2025, there was a survey, and this survey is not just from any forum or any report. It is from the World Economic Forum Future of Jobs report. Okay, you can Google World Economic Forum. That is where the world decision is being made. Okay, that's where the world decision is being made. So not anyhow people are there. You have presidents, you have thought leaders, you have the biggest CEOs, in that particular forum taking decisions. Okay, and that's where the drivers of the economy meet. And a survey was made that as employers, as all of you are employers here, what skills would you be looking for in an ideal employee? Rate them from 1 to whatever it is. And AI, AI, AI ranked 11th. 11th. This was early 2025. But right now in 2026, the projections are that AI is number one, right on top, and not by a small margin. Not by a small margin at all. Not by a small margin at all. So AI is leading and is growing very, very fast. And I explained earlier that the reason for this is because you don't need to code anymore. Majority of people don't know how to code and don't even like to code, myself included. Okay. I was advised to get into tech. I was never interested in tech. My interest started after I started learning. So it's not as if I got interested. But now people are getting interested because there is no code. Okay. So I didn't like coding back then. So, and that even drove me to start with data analytics because it's not too heavy on coding, and the rest is history. So now looking at the projections, let's tell ourselves a little bit of story. How do you actually get a job? What's the flow of getting a job? How does one get a job? Here is how. Now, when you hit that apply button, okay, majority of us would agree that our CV goes to the HR, right? So the HR reviews our CV and thinks about what to do next, correct? Give me a thumbs up if you are following me. Give me a thumbs up if you are following me. Give me a thumbs up if you are following me. Give me a thumbs up if all right, fantastic. Okay, I see the thumbs up. I see the thumbs up. Let me give you my own. My camera should be able to detect this. Where's my thumbs up? Okay. So, as I was saying, right? Okay, I can see somebody showing me muzzle in the chat. All right, that's good. So, when you send your CV or when you hit that apply button, the majority of us think, oh, our CV has gone to the HR. There is one, young man or young lady looking at my CV. Guess what? That is wrong. That is wrong. Your CV actually goes through an AI. So your recruiters are already using AI. So if you like, don't use AI. It goes through an AI called ATS, the applicant tracking system, and it has just a simple job to do. It looks at your CV and the job description and then scores your CV on a scale of 1 to 100. Okay? Unfortunately, okay, and I use unfortunately just so I drive my point home. Unfortunately, the cutoff mark is at least 90% over, that's 90 over 100. Okay, if your CV does not score up to 90, guess what? You get an automated rejection email. So the ATS will send you a rejection email automatically. So what happened? Nobody saw your CV. So you know all those emails. I don't know whether you know what rejection emails are. If you are here and you are actively applying to jobs, I'd want you to type I want you to type I can relate in the chat. You get the email that starts with, oh, hello, we were happy to receive your application. While your application stood out from the pack, we regret to inform you that we will be moving on with other candidates who we deem fit for the role. How many of you are familiar with such an email? Let me see those who are let me see the job hunters in the house. Let me see if I'm speaking to job hunters. Have you seen such an email before? Fantastic. So you can see those who know knows. If you know, you know. So this is the response. This is who is responsible. That's what's responsible. The ATS is responsible for sending you such an email. Now, if your CV, however, passes the cutoff mark, it gets moved to the HR, and that is where an actual human being gets to see your CV for the first time after applying. Okay, now then they decide to invite you for an interview afterwards, and then you get the job. So this is the roadmap. Unfortunately, again, most people out of ignorance don't even know about the ATS. Okay, and it's if you look, most of the things that, or let me say, some of the things that we believe today is out of, oh, that's what we think is what we think it is. Okay. And that's why they say knowledge is power. So when you know that there is an ATS, your question now, I'm sure that's what you're asking yourself. Mohammed, can you tell us how to bypass this ATS? Well, there is a way. Okay. There is a way. But the first step is what you have now. You know that an ATS exists. So keeping that in mind, let's go forward. There's another thing recruiters are doing, especially with Africans or Nigerians. Let me tell you what that is. You see, instead of hiring, talents in North America, that's within their own locality or in the UK or what I mean, they look towards Africa, Nigeria, they look towards equivalent talents that can do the same job. What does that mean? It means that they can cut down on salaries by a huge chunk because of one economic factor called cost of living. How many of you have heard the word cost of living before? Or if you've heard what we call purchasing power parity? How many of you have heard of these terms before? If you're into finance, you would have heard it. If not, I'm not like I'm into finance, but I mean, you would have heard some of these things randomly on social media. People talking about purchasing power parity, cost of living, and the like. So because of that, I mean, let me give you the mathematics. So as a tech professional, they can pay you up to $80,000 per year if you are in Canada or US. But if you want to do that same job and you're living in maybe Nigeria, they won't pay you up to 80,000. That's too much. All right. If you divide 80,000 into if you divide 80,000 into 12, let's quickly do the math. Somebody do the math for me. If you're into Forex, do the mathematics. So 80,000 divided by 12, that's around 6,006. So if you multiply that by, let's do 1.5 for the dollar, that's 10 million per month. 10 million naira per month. Okay? So what they do is, instead of paying you that amount, they will bring it down below half the amount. So they can pay you something like 2 to 3 million per month. And that's way less than 50% of the normal salary. So they use that to cut down on their overhead costs so that they increase their profit margin because they've seen that, look, there are Africans that can do this thing from home. Let's source for them. So you have them out there, and that has opened up a very huge opportunity as well in the space. So, and one of the easiest ways to make a difference right now and make an impact is using AI, using AI. Now, this brings me to some of the skills you need to learn, okay? So this is just talking about the future of jobs reports, highlighting how AI has grown. Now, look at this. This is from the future of jobs reports, one of the excerpts, and I've included the link in the slide. So if you want to read the full report, it's about 300 pages plus. You ensure to fill out the attendance form if you haven't already. So you get this into your mailbox alongside the recording of this session so you can look through. Now, business owners were asked, what technology trend will be driving businesses between the year 2025 and 2030? These are top business employers. And they said AI and information processing technologies. That's what we want. We want employees that can use AI. And not by a small margin. Look, 86%. 86% said AI and information processing technology. And the closest to it is 58%. So at the end of the day, guys, if you don't require coding to get into AI, tell me, what are you still waiting for? What exactly are you waiting for? Because guess what? The projections are saying the same thing. These are pointing out what jobs are likely to grow. On the left-hand side here, these are jobs that are likely to grow. Okay, and on the right-hand side, jobs that are declining. Guys, and forgive me, I didn't introduce myself thoroughly at the beginning of the session. I have a degree in mechanical engineering, okay, before I switched to becoming a tech professional. Okay, look, one of the jobs that is projected to decline, to plummet from now moving forward is mechanical engineering. Can you see that? If you look down here, you see lawyers somewhere here. If you look here, you see secondary education teachers, gate compliance officers, construction laborers, sales representative, wholesale, okay, building frame finishers, and related trades workers, chemical processing plant operators, okay, vocational education teachers, okay, food and beverage serving workers, all right, power production plant operators. And some of these roles that are going to be declining, you'll be shocked that how? How? Look, heavy truck and bus drivers. Looking at the rate of autonomous driving, okay, this is by year 2030, you would hardly find actual bus drivers driving on the roads, okay, especially in developed nations. But these are the projections and the jobs that are likely to increase right at the very top again, AI and machine learning specialists. So right now, you need to think AI. You need to put yourself in a better position than you currently are. The list goes on and on. It's a very long list, all looking at intelligence, business intelligence, AI, and the likes. Now, I'll give you a formula that you can use. And this is the same formula participants who have gotten jobs have used. Okay. But right now, the aim is not even to get a job. That one is a given. If and only if you position yourself well, especially using AI. So the first thing is to learn it. The second is to package. And the third is to apply. And you want to do it in this order. Learn, you package, you apply. Now, if you miss any one of these, you've broken the chain, it won't work. If you don't learn and you package and you apply, then you are not too far from a scammer. Okay? You don't know how to do it, and you're saying you know how to do it, right? Now, what if you learn and you don't package but you apply? Guess what? You will not look as good as you actually are to get a job. So somebody who is not even as good or half as good as you would get the job 10 times before you. So you have to follow this formula, okay, and learn an AI skill, okay? This is just showing some of the salary range you can earn as a tech professional. There are more testimonials, okay? More. This is Joel, this is Vivian, Oluwadamilare, and Ikmat. I love talking about Ikmat because I also was assigned to her to prepare ahead of one of our interviews. She had, I think, 3 interviews, okay? And the last one was the one that broke her into the tech space. And I happened to be the one who prepared her ahead of that particular interview. So if you want me to prepare you ahead of your own interview as well, join, let me work with you, okay? So, and one interesting thing about Ikmat is that she was a nursing mother as at the time she was upskilling. So when I heard of her, when I heard about that, and I just got to know about that when she got the job. So it's not like as if I knew that she was nursing while she was learning. So it was when she got the job and she was sharing her testimonial that she mentioned it. Okay. So I told myself, look, no one has an excuse anymore. You don't have what's your excuse that you want to give? You don't have an excuse. Okay. So you go ahead, take that leap. Now, the big question is, how can 10 Analytics business help you? That's the big question right now. Okay, so let's get into it. The very first career path you want to consider right now is AI automation engineering. If you are here and you don't mind learning something completely new that can project you as a top AI specialist globally right now, then AI automation engineering is the way to go. If you've ever heard of a virtual assistant or a personal assistant, PA, my PA, this and that, and you know the job that they do, okay, you know that that job is at risk right now because guess what? Right now, as I'm telling you, there is no job a PA can do that an AI cannot do. So, and we call them AI agents. If you've ever heard of agentic AI, okay, that's what they are. You can Google what is an AI agent, or give me an example of an AI agent. Just Google that. So an AI agent is just like a virtual assistant, but it's an AI developed by somebody like me and you. And the good thing is you don't need to know how to code to be able to come up with an AI agent. So an AI agent can receive calls, an AI agent can respond to DMs, and it will respond like a human being because it is powered by some of the strongest AI models you have out there, like ChatGPT, Claude AI, Gemini, and so many other powerful AI models that can actually have conversations with people. So imagine employing ChatGPT to work for you. That's exactly what AI agent is. So, and if you want to know how to build something like this, okay, somebody said I should drop my URL. Let me drop that again. So, and if you want to know how to build something like this, then you want to go into AI automation engineering. Okay. And then once you do this, you can build these solutions for businesses, you can build it for personal use, you can, sell it as, a product. You can literally build a business around it for yourself. Okay. Now, the second career path you can go into generative AI for data analysis. Now, this is similar to AI automation, but it is niched to data analysis. So if you are already a data analyst or you are interested in going into data analysis, this is the course to go for. Okay, you build AI agents that can analyze data. So many organizations are looking for data analysts. Okay, not just ordinary data analysts, but data analysts that can build AI agents that can analyze data. So some of the repetitive analysis that you used to do in the past, you create an AI agent, connect it to the data, and you can schedule how frequently it analyzes the data. And the good thing about the AI agent is it is not just about analyzing the data, it can carry out tasks, it can perform actions like sending email, reading email. So you can even say, oh, whenever I text you, please send me the latest report. And with just a text, guys, you get your reports intact into your email within minutes. So this is where the world is moving into. So don't get left behind. You also have AI for HR analysts. Look, if you are here and you are a HR professional and you are looking for how to add value as a HR professional, don't think about any other course. Go for this generative AI for HR analyst. Okay, so there are so many HR use cases you're going to be learning here. When you learn how to build an AI agent that can do your I talked about the ATS. You can literally build an ATS. Okay, the AI agent will read all the applications, look at the CVs, help you send rejection emails. So you want to turn the tables in 2026. Instead of being the one receiving rejection emails, where do you want to be? Who can echo what's in my mind? Who can echo what's in my mind in the chat? Let me hear someone say it in the chat. You want to turn the tables. So instead of receiving rejection emails, you do what? You be the one sending them out. Okay. You create an ATS that sends the rejection emails out. Okay. So, and that is the new reality right now, as an AI professional. The remaining two skills you can, or profession you can look at is generative AI for business analysis and project managers. Okay, that's pretty much what Botemi discussed today. Okay, Botemi discussed a very strong point in how you can use ClickUp AI, for example. Okay, if you look closely here, if you look at where my mouse is dancing, where is my mouse? If you look at where my mouse is dancing, you see ClickUp AI. Okay, somewhere there. That is just one of the two. Somebody was asking, "Oh, is ClickUp AI the only two?" You're welcome. They are enormous that you can use in your day-to-day as either a project manager or a business analyst. So a lot of Botany has spoken about this career path already, so I won't be dwelling too much on them. Now, as an extra, okay, because you remember I said learn, package, and apply. So we have also built our structure based on that formula. Okay. So we know that you just learning the skill is not enough. So after learning, so what? And this is where so many other competitors fall short. Okay. You don't just teach people something they never knew before, and then you are left to figure it out. And if you're currently doing self-learning or you're using free resources, you will likely fall into this trap. So we set up what we call employability skills training, where you cover CV review and revamp. So how should your CV look to be able to beat the ATS? LinkedIn optimization. How many of you have looked at my LinkedIn so far? How many of you have seen my LinkedIn page? Okay. If your LinkedIn page does not look like that, then you have work to do. Okay. Number three is navigating the job market. In fact, as I'm speaking with you now, some of our current students are currently in a session taking this particular topic as we speak, and we're showing them real stuff as we are speaking now. Another thing you get is interview preparation. Do I need to talk about the interview preparation again? I think I mentioned it when I was talking about the testimonials. So you get interview preparation, and this is a lifetime service that you get. So once you join, you get it lifetime interview preparation. Whenever you have an interview, you just come to us. You are good to go. Okay. Job reference letters. When you get a job, some employers will ask you to provide a reference. We offer to give you that. Okay. And how we achieve it with you is this. When you join Tenalytics Business, we allow you to use Tenalytics Business as one of your current or previous work experience. And by so doing, you can come to us whenever there is a need for a reference letter. Guys, clap for Tenalytics Business. I don't see anybody clapping. Aren't you interested? I don't see anybody clapping. Okay, let's clap for us. Okay, now we also offer on-the-job support. Okay, on-the-job support, weekly mentorship sessions, and Upwork optimization. Okay, Upwork optimization. So you set up an Upwork account, and you set up your freelance journey. Now, it's a 2 month program, 100% online. This has allowed us to meet or to reach a lot of Africans, a lot of Nigerians, even people outside of the continent, uh, because there is no barrier, okay, when it comes to location, okay? Ensure to fill out the form if you haven't already. Now, your classes are mainly on the weekends, Saturdays and Sundays. So Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 1 p.m., Sundays, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. So Saturdays and Sundays, you would get to you get to work on real world case scenarios that mimic you already working. And that's how you get to learn. Now, during the week, we meet with you, but it is not a class. It's just a session where you get to learn more and you get to ask questions. Tuesdays, we have what we call support sessions, where you get to ask questions based on what you've done before. If you also have any presentations to do, this is the period you do that. Then your mentorship sessions where you get mentored, and you can also ask questions, is 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. on Thursday evenings. Now, good thing is, although I don't like mentioning this, but I'll mention it anyway. All your sessions, as you are attending it, will record it and provide it to you as a reference point. Okay. Although some people abuse it, okay, but I um I'll still mention it anyways. Okay. You can't say, oh, because we record your session, you won't attend class anymore. You attend classes. Okay. And if at all you miss a class because of some unplanned scenarios or just your schedule, okay, then you can fall back to it, but you still have to inform us beforehand. One of the things we hold in a very high position is attendance. Okay, attendance. We don't joke with that. So, but not to scare you away. All right. So it's just the way we do things here. At least you inform us before you are absent. Okay. Now, upon completing your program, you will get a certificate. Now, the certificate you would get has the ACTD accreditation. The accreditation body is the American Council of Training and Development. And this is good to mention. Okay, it is good to mention, maybe when you're introducing yourself, just chip it in that, look, I have a certification, that's accredited by the ACT. Did they ask you, what's the ACT? The American Council of Training and Development. Now, what this means is that anywhere you go, you are to be reckoned with. Okay, we also have the NDPR badging, that's the Nigerian Data Protection Regulation. It just goes to show that we know exactly what we are doing when it even comes to data governance. Now, these are some of the job boards you can apply to. If you're looking for a remote job, Flex Jobs, we work remotely, Remote OK, Jobspresso, Upwork, LinkedIn, Remotive. I can keep on going and even mention some that are not on this list. For example, Crossover. Okay. Now, if you're looking for a remote job, it's not far-fetched. You just need the right information. Now, these are some people who applied the same formula I talked about. This is Pavel. From being a teacher, he transitioned into his very first tech job with the Learn Package Apply formula. Okay, this is Bukola, also did the Learn Package Apply formula and moved to getting her very first job. This is Ene. Ene landed a data scientist role working remotely with a company in Germany. Okay, followed the same principle. This is Judith, okay, from a carer to a tech professional. And the steps are straightforward. It's just for you to sit down and follow. Number one, you pick a niche. Okay, pick a course of the 5 that we discussed. Number 2 is you build relevant projects. You build a portfolio. Botany talked about portfolio. All right, very important. You have to have real demonstrations. Yes, you have an ACTD accredited certificate, but that's not the only reason why an employer would hire you. Okay, you still need a portfolio to show that, oh, I can do this thing that I say I can do. All right. Number three is you can learn niche. So after learning, you can decide, oh, I want to focus on companies in so and so industry. Number four is you land your very first client. Okay. You build AI solutions for them. And number five, you scale from there and become a force. Okay. Become a force. When I say become a force, I don't mean a policeman. Okay, but I hope you understand my point. So this slide is just reiterating some of the platform where you can apply to jobs. Now, I have good news and I have bad news. Which one do you want to hear first? Which one do you want to hear first? Okay, I have good news. I also have some bad news, but which one do you want to hear first? Type it in the chat. Okay. I would advise you take the good news first, okay? So that I can ask, okay, if it is this good, what then is the bad news? Somebody said both. Somebody said bad news, good news. Let's see. Let's see who wins, who wins the poll. Okay, both. You want to hear both. Okay, good news. So let's start with the good news. So the good news is that you can start this weekend, okay, on our special discount, okay? It's called the Early Black Friday discount. Was meant to have ended a long time ago, but a lot of people asked us to extend, and we extended it to this period. So the discount is on right now, a very hefty discount for everyone who is choosing to start their program January 10th, okay? Now, this discount is only for 5 people, just 5 more people, because we've exceeded the limit already. So just 5 people that are remaining. Now, the normal price of the program is 200,000. The discount slashes that 200 by 50%. Okay, for the AI automation engineering program. So you get to pay only a total of 100,000 naira, and you can split the payment into two parts. 50,000 naira now, get started this Saturday, and then by the end of the month, on or before January 31st, you top up with the remaining part of the payment. For the other programs, okay, they each also cost 200,000, but they have a 60% discount on them, which means instead of 200,000, you're paying a total of 80,000. Likewise, you can split the payment into two parts. 40,000 now, you get started this weekend, and then 40,000 later in January. Okay, the account details are shown on the screen. You can also visit our Analytics website to make payments if you prefer online payment. But if you want to go straight to the point, you can use the message in the chat. The details are also there. You can copy it from there. And there is a phone line attached that you should reach out to once you make the payment. Okay, 0802 0802 512 1729. Send the receipt, the proof of payment to that phone line, and the very next step you need to take will be made available to you. Okay, now the class is what I said start January 10th, not the deadline for the discount. If you want to actually benefit from this discount, you need to make a down payment today. So once we drop off this call, I'm going to take questions now. So I'm sure quite a number of you have questions for me. So I'll take questions now about, especially around how you can get started. Okay. Once we are done, we close and we are good to go. But if you are taking one of those 5 slots, type your name in the chat. Type your name in the chat so I know that you are taking or you have taken that slot. So type your name in the chat. Let me know. Let me congratulate you on this call as we go. So if you want to ask any question, use the raise hand icon like this. I will then allow you to speak. I'll allow you to unmute and speak so that I can get your question. So I want you to actually interact with me, speak the way I'm speaking to you, so we can align. So who has a question? Who has a question? And raise your hand so that I can allow you speak. Who has a question? You can also type a question in the chat if you don't want to speak, but if you have a question, maybe around registering, around the discounts, Anything at all, do well to ask your question. So let's see who has a question. Adika Semba, your name sounds very familiar, and I am thinking we've met before. Have we? I know we've met somewhere before. I think so. Adim Shinobi, do you have any question? Benny, Blessing, Emma, um, Celestine, do you have a question? Charles, do you have a question? Cornelius, do you have a question? Favor, Ogbunda, do you have a question? Damian, Mayowa, do you have a question? Ido Saka, do you have a question? Sonny, do you have a question? Who else? Satochuku Joel. Satochuku, your name sounds familiar as well. Okay, Ugochi Orisa Kwe, do you have a question? Uthman, do you have a question? Victor, do you have a question? Okay. Okay, Satochuku, you can unmute. Raise your hand again, please, so that I can ask you to unmute. Okay, Adika said no question from me. Thank you. Okay, fantastic. So we use the raise hand icon again so I can ask you to unmute. Satochuku, or was that a thumbs up or something? You have a question, please feel free. All right, so you should be able to unmute now.
Okay, good evening, sir. Are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you. Good evening.
Okay. My question is this second part about the generative AI for data analyst, generative AI for HR, generative AI for business, and for managers. Is it
Yeah.
are the courses single courses or they are together? Why that of AI automation engineering, building LLMs and AI agents are separate?
Okay, you're asking why the price difference?
I'm asking if the generative AI for the four different stuff, if the
Yeah.
amount is together or the amount there for the generative AI is for each
Oh,
section
okay.
for number
Okay.
2, 3, 4, and 5.
Yeah, so each of them costs 80,000 naira now, the discounts, each of them. So you pick one and the price is 80,000 naira. Does that answer your question?
Okay, I understand now.
Yeah.
Okay, each of
So they're the
them is
same.
that.
Yeah, so they're the same price. So I didn't want to write the same thing over and over again. So yeah, that was why I grouped them. Yeah, so which one are you going for? Are you interested in one of them?
No, the one I'm looking at is actually the AI automation engineering, but I
Okay.
want to first of all get a system. I don't think it's something I'll be doing with my phone. So I want to get a system first before I continue my tech journey.
Okay. All right. All right. All right. So you used to have a system before, but you no longer have a system
I
now. Or
have
what's
I have a system, but the system is hanging seriously. 8 gig RAM, 1 terabyte HDD, but it's hanging. I don't know why. So I want
8
to
gig RAM is
just
hanging.
fix
You don't need another system. Okay. I'm not a system engineer, but if I'm guessing, you don't need another system. Did you buy it used or brand new?
no. The system was given to me for as a kind of gift for work I did somewhere, media job, brand new.
Okay.
But I don't know why that at intervals is hanging and
Okay.
all that. So I used out of annoyance also, I just sent it back to the eastern Nigeria. I'm currently in
Oh.
Lagos. So I sent it back out of the frustration of the stuff. So I just take it that I don't have one.
You don't have one. Okay. So if the system was still with you, I would have suggested that you probably shut down the system multiple times, and then you want to consider, emptying more of the storage. So you try emptying the storage. So one of the things that makes systems, especially 8 gig RAM, hang I mean, I use 8 gig RAM, 8 gig RAM systems as well. I use it very well. So and it doesn't give me any issues. And when it does, it's likely because I have not shut down the system for weeks. Okay, I've not shut down the system for a week, so the RAM is clogged up. So you need to free up the RAM by rebooting. Or if you have a lot of heavy files like videos, especially on the system, okay, you may want to free up the space. All right, you may want to free up the space so that somebody's even saying you can upgrade from HDD to SSD. Okay, so if the system is not too old, you may even likely have an SSD already. So you can just look into that as well. All right. So you can look into that. So if you can get the system back, okay, and try these things and it works, I would recommend you do that so that you don't miss out on the discounts. Because guess what? Our prices are increasing this Saturday. So once the class starts, okay, if you're going to join any other class after that, you are not seeing this price. Okay, so only the 5 people that register tonight, okay, are getting this pricing. All right, so if you wait till Saturday, then just say goodbye to this package. All right, the cheapest price you'd get for the program would now be 250,000. So you can save. So right now, count it down, I'm giving you how much? I'm dashing you 150,000 right now on this call. So are you gonna take it or leave it? So Satochuka, are you gonna take it or leave it? Hi, Satochuka, can you hear me?
I can hear you, sir. I can hear you now.
Oh. Yeah, so I was asking whether you're taking it or leaving it.
That's the thing. The time space is a bit short. I will need to do webill of the system, webill it back to Lagos from East and all that. So maybe
Mhm.
I will hang on to the next thought.
Okay, so you don't mind paying 250,000. That's what you're saying, right? You don't mind paying 250,000 for the next cohort.
Yes, sir.
All right, fantastic. I think it makes sense. You have Sir before your name. Are you knighted? Have you been knighted in the UK?
No, no, no,
You probably have been knighted in the UK, correct?
no, no, sir. Not yet.
I I can't really hear you.
Okay, I said not yet, not yet.
Not yet. Okay, fantastic. But it's something you're looking towards because people who have Sir in
Yes,
front of their names have been knighted in the UK. Okay, Lewis Hamilton recently got his own. I think there was one notable person that recently got his own as well. So maybe that explains why you would prefer going for the 250K than the current price of 100K. So it makes sense to me. All right. So no problem. If that's fine by you, it's fine by me as well. All right.
yes, sir.
So
Thank you. Thank you for it.
okay, do you have anything you want to say?
Not really, not really. But
All
what
right, no
about,
problem.
apart from the AI courses, what about the data analytics courses?
Is that what you want to do?
Actually, I want to do data analytics first before going into any other thing on AI and all that.
Okay. Is there a reason? Is there a specific reason you want to do that?
Because most of the roles that I get are centered around that area. And the
Okay.
knowledge I had before on Excel and all that is no longer, it's not helping me to deliver as I should. That's why I want to push more into Power BI and all that.
Okay, fantastic. So I have we have such courses, okay, not with analytics business, but with some of our other sister organizations. So if you want to, if that's what you want to do, fine. Okay, that's even more expensive. It's even more expensive than, so it seems it's expensive stuff you like. So that's fine. What you want to do is you can just reach out to me via WhatsApp. Okay, you can reach out to me via WhatsApp, and so that you can get more, you can make more inquiries. So I'll drop your number now. So just text the number that, oh, I want to speak with Mohammed, and you find me at the other end of the line. So 002-512-1729. Okay, I've pasted it in the chat, so you can just copy it from there, and yeah, you're good to go. Okay.
Yes, sir.
All right. So who else has a question? Who has a question? Questions, guys. I'm giving you the opportunity to speak. Question. And if you don't have a question, I have a question for you. Why haven't you registered if you haven't already? Why haven't you registered? What's holding you back? Feel free. Tell me what's holding you back. What is holding you back? You have concerns, this is the time to say it. It's already 10 o'clock, so we're drawing the curtain soon, and the offer is off the table. So why haven't you registered yet? Saka says money. Okay, so you have money or you don't have money? Why? Like, what's the be specific? When you say money, what does that mean? And you can raise your hand so that I can give you permission to speak. Let's have an actual conversation. At this point, I'll prefer let's talk. Okay, let's talk. That would make progress much faster. Do you want to raise your hand? Ido, or let me look for you and give you permission to speak. Okay. All right. So you can mute now. You can unmute rather.
Good evening, sir.
Yeah. So you said money. So what's do you mean you don't have the money to register right now?
Good evening. Thank you for the presentation. Honestly, it's convincing, right from the
Okay.
first down to yourself. But the issue is that I don't have money to do so. So that's why.
Okay. Fantastic.
Love
Okay.
the
So let's get okay.
very interested. So
You're
that
interested. Fantastic. So let's get practical. Are you a
okay.
student or what do you do for work if you currently work?
I'm a student.
You are a student, okay. So what school do you attend? Is it your undergraduate or your
I'm
postgraduate
a master student.
master student? Okay. So how do you currently um sort out your school fees? Is it yourself or you have some form of support?
I sponsor my program myself.
Okay, it's sponsored. So is it possible that
I mean
this
myself.
oh you sponsor your program? So that means you work
Exactly.
at the moment.
Yes.
Okay. So now I mean, I think for someone like you, not having the money is something temporary. Is that correct if I say so? This is a
You are,
temporary problem.
yeah, it's a temporary problem. So that's why.
Okay. Okay, fantastic. So let's assume that you had all the time in the world to raise the money. When would you be able to raise the money? And when I say the money, I'm not talking about the full 100,000. I'm talking about the first installment of 50,000. I'm assuming you're going for AI automation engineering though. Or which of the program are you interested in so I can tailor it?
Actually, on data analysis and HRM.
Oh, you want to take two?
Is it possible?
Well, some people actually did that. Okay, but you won't take it at the same time. You take one first and you take the other one later. But you can register for two at the same time. Okay, but we'll not allow you to do the two at the same time. You do one first and then do the other.
I will
Okay.
first go the data analysis. because I would
Data analytics. Okay. So um now you are saying that you can raise, or can you raise up to 80,000 naira um
I can
first, and
for now.
then can you, what did you say? Can you say that again?
I said I can.
Okay, like when is that likely going to be?
Probably probably like maybe in 1 month's time, maybe probably February or February ending rather or January.
February ending. Okay. So if your plan is February ending, then you're not even looking at the current prices anymore. You're looking at 250,000. Okay. 250,000. So will 250,000 be something realistic for you to raise
I
between, or
think
let's even say half of 250,000 first off, because that was
that's
likely what you need to pay first. So to balance up later. Okay. So can you raise 175K between now and then?
how come it come every answer. See, are you referring to the two program, right?
Yeah, so that's just one program. I said prices are
Okay.
changing this Saturday. Prices will
Okay.
change this Saturday. So
Okay.
one program would return to 250,000 naira. These
I
prices, these prices are discounts that we started from November till now. Normally, it was meant to end when the year ended, but a lot of people came and appealed, so we reopened temporarily for a number of slots. So that's why you are even still seeing this price. Okay, so on Saturday, we are reverting to 250,000 naira. So I'm using that since you said you're likely to pay in February. So I'm using that price now to have this conversation. Do you understand?
understand that.
Okay. So are you saying you can raise 175 for the first installment between now and then?
I can't. Yeah, I don't like telling lies, so I can't.
You can. Is
I
that what
would
I'm
love
hearing?
let me benefit the same grace of a Black Night, Black Friday, or whatever you call it.
Yeah. So if you want to benefit from this, then you would have to find a way. Okay, you would have to find a way to either raise maybe 40,000. Okay, use that one to hook the uh the spot down. Start this weekend, and you find a way to sort yourself out afterwards. All right. So that would be my advice for
Right.
you.
Thank you so
Okay.
much.
Yeah, that would be my advice for you.
Just, I would love to have your. Please, can you display your contact so that
Okay, so you can send a message to 0802. Let me paste this in the chat again. 002-512-1729. Okay. So just say, oh, hello, I am Ido Saka. I want to speak
all
with
right.
Mohammed.
Thank you.
All all right. All right. So somebody said I'm interested. That's Brenda. Okay, so Brenda, do you have the necessary details to secure your spot there? Have you gotten the necessary details? Do you want me to share again? I think it's in the chat. I don't know whether you've seen it. And if you want to speak, you can unmute. Brenda, where are you? Let me look for you. Okay, so Brenda, I've asked you to unmute. You can unmute and speak.
Okay. Hello everyone. Thank you so much. I'm
Okay.
interested. I was logged out for a while because my
Oh,
battery ran down. So I missed a lot of what was said, but I'm interested in the generative AI for project managers.
okay. Are you
And I
already a
saw
project
that,
manager?
yes, I work as a program
Fantastic.
manager
Oh, great.
currently. I'm a
Okay,
civil servant. I've worked as a director as well. So I've
fantastic.
managed portfolios. I'm a medical doctor and I work in public health. So I'm
Fantastic.
very interested in that. Like, it's a step forward from I work with the
Okay,
Nigerian
great.
government as well, so
Mhm.
it's a step forward from mediocre for me, and that's what I'm trying to get rid of. I want to be in a futuristic environment, and where I work now is so backward. So
Okay,
I'm so interested.
all right. So are you available to start this weekend though?
Yeah, I will. I will. I'll start
Okay,
this weekend. And
all right.
as soon as I get more information, I think the payment is how much? Is it 80,000?
Yeah, 80,000, and you can split it into
Yes.
two parts.
I
So you can
love this splitting part. So
yeah, you can
please,
split it.
how long will it be for?
It's just tonight,
No,
sadly,
I mean the course,
just
the
tonight.
period of the course.
Okay. Oh, the period of the course, that's 2 months.
Okay,
Two
it's
months.
fine. I am going for it. So I'm all in. Thank you. I'm glad
All right,
I
fantastic.
joined
I'll be looking forward to
the Zoom
seeing
call.
you in the class.
Yes, yes.
All right, great.
So
So I
please,
I believe you
I'm
have all the
going to pay
details to take care of it.
the account
Okay.
details.
Okay, all right.
Sorry,
Yeah,
I
do you
didn't
have it?
get you. Okay, I'll screen
So I
grab
was asking
this.
you.
I'll
Oh,
screen
okay.
grab this
All right, no problem
and
then. That's all.
pay immediately after this call. I'll pay the first
All right.
installment. Thank you.
Okay, great. Yeah, it's a pleasure. All right. So, congratulations in advance, Brenda. Okay, so it is 10 minutes past 10. So this is the point where I would say if you're still here and you can hear my voice, congratulations. Or thank you very much, for being here. I hope you learned one or two things. If you've registered, congratulations. And I hope to see you in class. I can't wait. And for those of you who are looking to register in future, I hope to also see you. Okay, but again, just prepare your 250,000 naira. Let it be complete. Okay, so cheers, guys, and have a wonderful night rest.